By the 19th century, European colonial powers were becoming increasingly dominant, with France first taking neighbouring Algeria, and then in 1881, after decades of the French influence in the region, and Tunisia itself falling heavily into debt to European powers, France used border tensions and political instability as justifications to invade in 1881, and in that same year, the Treaty of Barbaut established Tunisia basically as a French state. And once again, Sousse began to change. As for centuries, most of life in Sousse had remained, concentrated inside the old fortified medinas. But during the colonial period, the city began to spread outward, into newer districts built in very different architectural styles, with railroads and roads connecting the city more closely to the rest of the country. You had many French and European businesses being set up and often benefited disproportionately from economic development. Many Tunisians actually faced political marginalization and limited control over their own country. So while Sousse modernized in many ways under the French rule, it also became part of a colonial system built around foreign control. Then came World War II, and because of Tunisia's strategic location in the Mediterranean, the country suddenly became strategically important once again, just as it had been many times throughout history. As after Germany occupied France in 1940, Tunisia came under the control of the Vichy French government, which actually collaborated with Nazi Germany. And in late 1942, fighting spread across the country during the North African campaign, with Sousse becoming a coastal city, with transport links, roads and infrastructure useful to actual military operations. It became very vulnerable to air raids and military activity. Bombing damaged parts of the city, including infrastructure around the port and nearby transport networks. But compared to some major European cities, Sousse was not completely destroyed, as by 1943 Allied forces defeated Axis troops in Tunisia, marking the end of the North African campaign. But although the city survived, the war left damage and instability behind as the French colonial rule actually continued. But in Tunisia as a whole, nationalist movements were becoming stronger, as by this time many Tunisians had fought, worked or actually lived through 2 world wars under this colonial control, and demands for independence were growing louder. Now, one of the leading figures for independence was this gentleman, who became the central face for Tunisian nationalism during the mid-20th century. Then through political pressure, negotiation, protests and increasing international support, after World War II, France gradually lost its grip on Tunisia, and in 1956 Tunisia officially gained independence.